Baby, we put in 5 miles this morning. Unplanned.
Yes, we did.
We just hopped up, got out the bed, went for our normal morning walk, and 5 miles, almost 3 hours later of us just casually walking and talking.
It wasn't really that casual. The walk was kind of intense.
Yeah.
We were walking really fast.
We was moving.
Yes, we were.
Yeah, we was moving.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it though, man. Like, I love the fact that we can just do something so simple and like bond so deeply.
Right.
Because the 5 miles and the amount of time that we walked, it wasn't about actually hitting any type of goal. It was just us enjoying each other's time.
Right.
And literally doing it until we were fulfilled.
Yeah, until we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just keep going until we're done talking. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like, to me, that's just, it's so dope. Like, I love that time so much because we never really know like what's going to come out of our conversations when we're having that time together. And like, we just let the conversations develop as they go. And yeah, man, you just dope to spend time with like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I enjoyed our walk today because we talked about like hopes and dreams and like goals and things like that. Like, there was nothing like tactical. We just spent those almost 3 hours just dreaming together, like the life that we want to have, like how we see our life, you know, when baby is, you know, out in the, you know, in the world on her own. It's like, what are we going to do when we're empty nesters? So we're like creating what it would look like for us. And like dreaming to that extent is so beautiful to me. And I say to me because there was a point in life where I feel like I didn't even have an imagination. Like, I wasn't that much of like a visionary. Like, I couldn't see what I couldn't see. Like, I can't even like explain it. Like, I wasn't able to really like visualize certain things, but you were always very good at it. Like, you could like, you would have these elaborate plans where you could see things and you could like paint the picture for me. And I was like, how do you even do that? And then over time, I began to like cultivate my own way of doing that. So now I'm dreaming with you. I'll be telling you, babe, this is what I see. Boom, 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 boom. You be like, oh, okay, I see it too, you know? So being able to develop that type of like vision with you is so dope because I didn't have it before.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know like for me a while back, especially like growing up, it was kind of like a way of not necessarily just escaping, but just thinking of something bigger than where I was at the time. Yeah. Especially when you're in a closed-in environment and you know that there's so much more out here for you or there's potential for so much more.
Right.
And so now that we have that together, I think it's so dope because now it's not just me thinking about our future in this grandiose way. It's like us painting the picture together and bringing something that literally just came from our minds into life. And then not only just thinking about it, but knowing that we actually have the desire, the work ethic, we're coming up with the plan. Like, we didn't even just stop from our conversation of like dreaming and hoping or whatever, but then got home and was like, all right, these are some of the things that we can start doing now to start working in that direction. These are the first couple of steps, I think, that'll help us start moving in this direction. What are some of the skills, you know, that we're already working on? How can we start to double down on some of those things? And granted, that wasn't the conversation while we were walking, but knowing that we don't just go into dreaming and going into this like fairy tale world, we think that way and then start thinking about what can we actually start putting into action and how can we take what we're already doing, maximize that and keep moving in that direction.
Absolutely. I love that. Like you said, like, it's not no fairy tale ass shit. Like, no, it's like, okay, let's dream all cutesy butterfly unicorn type shit. But then let's go to the house. Let's pull out the laptop. Okay, now how are we going to make this a reality? Yeah. You know, we know what we want it to look like, but how are we going to make sure we're implementing it in a way to where we can make it real for us? And I love that.
And the dope part on top of that is even in us doing that, it never deviates from the big picture. Because we already have, you know, like what we're thinking about 3 and 5 years down the line. But we're thinking about what are some big things that we can do right now that contribute to that.
Yes.
And it keeps us moving in the same direction together. And what was dope about our conversation today was we both have our own stressors in the world, like things that we did with, be it with me and work, with you, you know, around the house and taking care of baby and all of these different things or whatever. But it brought so much of our individual worlds into perspective. It made me think about like how there's really no scenario where we don't win. There's also so much leverage in the seemingly mundane things that we do day in and day out.
Right.
There's also so much leverage in the normal things that we do that, come to find out, so many people get so much value out of the way that we're able to tell the story. Yes. And so it just made me think about like, man, there's so much life in all of what we're actually talking about. And it's not just an idea. It's something that we can actually do and that actually can lead us towards the goals that we're working toward and figuring out how can we make what we have work for us.
Yes.
And so it's not like, oh my God, like we need this and we need that and we don't know how to do this. It's like, how can we take what we have
right now,
our current circumstances, situations, our current lifestyle, the things that we already like to do, and use that as leverage to build the vision that we have for our future.
Yes.
And I think that that's just amazing because there's so many people out here, you know, who can't see themselves and their opportunities or the opportunities that could exist around them in such a clear way. And we take our everyday lives and be able to figure out how can we make this thing something special and beneficial both to us and the people that we want to be able to serve through our content or the way that we've decided to go about building our future together.
Yes.
Man, that's amazing. Like, we live in a day and age where you can literally turn anything into something.
Into something.
Yeah.
Into something and share it with people and actually create valuable things for other people to consume and learn and grow from.
Real
and
talk.
I think like that's why I really love our content. Like, this might be deviating left, but even like on our date last night, like we literally got dressed, like threw on some sweats, all black sweats with our J's on our feet. Like I didn't have on no makeup. I didn't do nothing special to my hair. You know, I just popped in some freaking black hoops and we went out to the comedy show, you know, and just had a good time together. Like it wasn't nothing super extravagant or super lavish and luxury. It's like, you know, you can find things in your city to do that's super, super chill and make it a part of your everyday, not everyday life, but like at least like monthly life. You know, it doesn't have to be super extreme. So even when it comes to dating, it's like, it doesn't have to be super out the way in order for us to make it happen. Like we don't got to get super dressed up. It can be on some kick it type shit, you know, and we just enjoy those moments together. So I know we're talking about like home life, but even when it comes to dating, it can be the same way.
Yeah. And just realizing, man, that there's no right way. It's like the way that works best for you.
Exactly.
And so like, even when we were talking about, you know, building our vision for the future and the things we're working toward and how we can be able to turn our everyday lives into content and dating and different things like that.
Yes.
It's so amazing to me because like you said, like these are things we would have done anyway. These are the things that we actually enjoy. And it doesn't always have to be this lavish, over the top thing. And as long as we're good, we're happy, we're doing what we enjoy, and the conversations is flowing, you know, when we having us a good time, that's all that matters. And so often people can get wrapped up in what they see online and feel like, you know, if you can't offer something at that level, then it's not as valuable or worth it or whatever.
Go ahead. That's it.
Yeah. And it's not true.
Right.
Like, as long as you're doing whatever you do with the person you genuinely enjoy, and you guys are able to actually have a type of time to where you're either growing together, enjoying each other's time, be it laughing, talking, whatever the case may be, it can be just that simple.
Listen, yes, absolutely. Everything that you do with the person you're with should be based on y'all's values. It should be based on what y'all like or what y'all are interested in, not what people are doing on social media, not what seems to be popular. Who gives a fuck? You don't know these people.
Come on.
You don't know these people. So why try to mirror what somebody else is doing, not even knowing if what they're doing is even valuable enough to you? Like maybe you see them like laughing and having fun doing a certain activity, but if you was to do that activity, it might be stressful as hell. You don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we laugh going on a 5-mile hike. We enjoy that, but somebody else might be like,
half a mile in, you win.
You know what I'm saying? But we have fun doing that, and we're laughing and joking. But it's more so it's the feelings that come with that you're looking for. It's the enjoyment that you're coming,
connectedness,
the connectedness, the bond that you're building with the person. That's what you're trying to build, and that's not gonna be created by you mirroring what somebody else is doing.
Come on, set the mic on fire, baby. Let them know.
I'm just saying it's really important for you to find out what you and your person want to do together and spend time cultivating whatever that looks like, even if it's not popular online. Who cares?
Come on.
It could be sitting at the crib on the couch. I don't fucking know. I like doing puzzles. I love doing puzzles. That might be some weirdo shit, but I like doing it. And my husband sits there and does puzzles with me. It might be boring to somebody else. We over there laughing. We got music going on. We got whatever happening, food, drink, and we enjoying doing a puzzle.
Yeah,
super simple. You know what I mean? So whatever floats your boat, like stop trying to do what everybody else doing.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about that is my whole world perspective has changed so much over like the last, matter of fact, since we bought the house. You know what I mean? Because we had this whole idea around, why we wanted to buy the house that we got and the size of it and being able to do all of these things and always thinking about other people and all of this crap, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine. But as time has progressed, I've started to realize how much our values have changed.
Yeah.
And realizing like, especially as we go into that empty nester phase, well, not phase, that's going to be life for as long as we can keep it that way. But it started to make me realize, man, that like, I don't care to have a whole lot of stuff in our next phase of life. I don't want a huge freaking house and a whole lot of yard. No, just give me a high rise in the city somewhere. I ain't got no grass to cut. Somebody else can come take care of stuff when it break, whatever the case may be. Yeah. Like, I don't want, like when I got rid of the Mercedes, like I don't want a freaking expensive car to impress people I don't care about. I want something reliable. And anytime something happened to that mug, I could take it somewhere real quick, get it handled. Like, the things that I care about most at this point in life is really just the experiences that we have together and having less stuff to manage. Like, I don't want a whole bunch of nothing. Like, I really just want to be able to enjoy the time and the experiences that I have with my wife while doing the work that we find meaningful, which is creating content, being able to mentor and coach people and being able to pour into people in the way that we find meaningful without so many external things that most people get their feelings of validation and worth from. Like that stuff just don't matter to me right now. And it's not to say that anything is wrong with it. What I'm saying is it's not a value that I have or that we have right now.
Right.
And who knows? It could change.
Yeah.
Later on in life, we could probably, get to a point where we want to settle and have more material things and whatever, or do more extravagant things or whatever. But like for me right now, we up.
Yeah.
And we up in the best way doing the things that we like with the values that we have right now.
Yeah. And to your point, it's like those values are going to change based on what we want. What we're comfortable with, what we're happy with, not other people. So yeah, I absolutely agree.
Yeah. And so like I say all of that to say that for all of you guys that are watching or listening or whatever the case may be, you can literally make your relationship whatever it is that you want it to be. And it doesn't have to look like anybody else's ideal image of marriage or being in a committed relationship or whatever the case may be. Right. It's just taking interest in each other and finding ways to connect in the ways that you find meaningful and realizing that if you have to depend on outside things in order for the depth and the value of your relationship to really mean anything, then it might not be on the solid foundation as you think it is. And I love the fact that, man, we can do something as simple as a walk. We can do something as simple as going on a hike or whatever, the podcast, all of these things, they don't cost us anything really but our time.
Right.
But we get to see each other in a new light. I get to learn new things about my wife. She gets to learn new things about me. We get to spend time like just in our own world where only we matter. And so much growth is in that.
Yes.
There's so much growth in that. And it's not to say that you can't do those other things, but you need lots of the smaller things too, because that's where you're able to get to know each other in ways that nobody else can. When there's less distractions from things that you're doing.
Right.
I ain't saying don't go to the arcades or take the trips or do whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But the time and the quality of the time that you spend together can be magical with minimal effort. And just being present and with the one that you're with. And like loving that.
Right.
And to me, man, it's so simple, but yet so many people don't do it.
Yeah, I think like even with the things we've posted in the past, they'll always say, well, we don't have time to go do this. We don't have time to go do that. Like, what can you do? Sit down with the person you're with and figure out what can you do. If you can't do that, what can you do instead? It might be a 15-minute little sit down and talking every day. That might be it. Y'all got to go to bed at some point. Like stay up a little later and actually have a conversation with each other. Like figure out a way that will make it work for you and the person that you're with. Like that's what's most important. Instead of looking for, we can't do what they doing. We can't do what they doing. They going here. We can't do that. It doesn't matter what they can do. It only matters what you can make sure you set time for. Right. And you should set time for the person that you married. Period. And that is a should. Yeah. Yeah. That like
how else you gonna last?
That is a non-negotiable. You should set time for each other. Yeah. Yeah.
And be very on purpose about it.
Every time. Absolutely.
Man, because I ain't nowhere in the world I'm about to be sitting over here spending my life with somebody who I don't get to actually enjoy that time with when you only got one life to live. Like nothing matters more to me than the time that we get to have together and how we get to be able to enhance our life experience together, or how we get to be able to get to know each other, grow through certain things. Like our connection means everything to me. Like we've signed up to do life together. And when you do that, you're obligated to invest in it, or at least that's the wise thing to do. Invest time and effort into the one that you're with. So that way you can be able to build that connection, be able to keep that love and that spark, as they say, strong, and just realize that it doesn't have to be so complicated and difficult, especially when you can just kill that idea of comparison. Like it can be so much more simple. It can be. And again, it doesn't mean that it always has to be that way, but don't look down on it. When there's a lot of people out here who do extravagant things and relationships are going nowhere.
I mean,
drop racks on a vacation only to get back, not even really know each other. And before you know it, they in conflict and going two totally different ways.
Right.
Like, again, it's not about what you do. It's about the quality of the time that you spend together in whatever you do.
Yes.
And so that can be as big or as little as you want it to be. I love it here.
I love it here too.
It's simple, man. It really can be. It can be so simple.
It is.
But I think that's where we at with it today, baby.
I know that's where we at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, please do let us know. My name is John Trone. This is my beautiful queen,
Adoria.
We are one dope couple, and we hope you guys really got a lot of value out of this. So, of course, like, comment, subscribe, follow us on the podcast, all of that good stuff. And until next time, family, peace and love.